Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing communication and escalation procedures, stakeholder management basically. By the end of this module, you will be able to identify key stakeholders in cybersecurity incidents, develop effective communication strategies for different audiences, implement proper escalation procedures and protocols, navigate legal, regulatory, and business requirements, create and execute crisis communication plans. So that's all we're going to learn, right? Not all we're going to learn, but poor communication, right? Delayed response, critical time lost during incidents, resource waste, teams working on wrong priorities, reputation damage, public perception and trust issues, because they're going to be hearing about all that stuff, right? Legal consequences, regulatory violations and penalties, business impact, revenue lost, and competitive disadvantage. So have good communication with everybody, every team, every person, no matter the level, right? Just communicate with everybody, treat everybody good, treat everybody how you want to be treated, right? Benefits of effective communication. Coordinated response, all teams aligned and informed. Faster resolution, clear priorities and resource allocation. Stakeholder confidence, trust maintained through transparency. Compliance adherence, regulatory requirements met. Learning culture, continuous improvement through feedback. Key stakeholder categories. Internal technical stakeholders, Security Operations Center analyst, frontline incident detection and response. And sometimes SOC centers, right? They get over like 10,000 alerts a day, which is crazy, right? Incident response team members, specialized incident response personnel, IT operations, infrastructure and system administration, network security firewall, IDS, IPS, and network teams, system administrators, server and application owners, DevOps, development, and deployment personnel, right? So the sysadmin is the one who owns or controls the server, right? They don't necessarily have to own it. They can work on it if they don't own it, right? Internal management stakeholders, CISO, security manager, security leadership and strategy, IT director, CIO, chief information officer, I think, technology leadership and budget authority, risk management and enterprise risk assessment and mitigation, legal counsel, legal implications and regulatory compliance, HR leadership, personnel related, security incidents, business unit managers, operational impact and priorities. We have executive leadership, CEO, ultimate accountability, and public representation, right? The main figurehead that is the public-facing figure for the company is the CEO. COO is operations impact and business continuity. Business continuity is like what I said, telling your customer base basically what's happening in the company, when the services may be offline, stuff like that. CFO, financial impact and cost management. They manage the finances of the company, right? Board of directors, we have governance and strategic oversight. So there's a board of people that direct the other people, right? General counsel, legal strategy, and external representation. So they're the ones who sort of represent alongside the CEO, right? So general counsel and CEO, both are for public representation, right? External stakeholders, we have customer service impacts and data protection concerns, partners, vendors, supply chain, and third-party risk, regulatory bodies, compliance reporting and investigations, law enforcement, criminal activity and evidence collection, media public relations, and reputation management, insurance providers, coverage and claims processing. We have our communication framework. C for concise. Use simple, direct language. Avoid technical jargon for non-technical audiences. Focus on essential information only. Bullet points over paragraphs. Right now I'm reading off these bullet points, right? So that I can explain. But in the labs is where I'm going to explain more of the technical jargon. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm communicating in bullet points, right? I'm not giving you whole big paragraphs all the time. So that's the concise. I'm trying to be concise with this course, right? Logical, present information in chronological order. Structure what, when, why, next steps. Use consistent formatting and templates. Provide context before details. So logically, you have to think logically about how you're going to tell someone something. What am I going to tell them? When am I going to tell them? And why am I going to tell them? We have evidence-based. Are you communicating to show evidence? Basically support statements with facts and data? Are you communicating to distinguish between confirmed and suspected information? Are you communicating to provide timestamps and sources? And are you communicating to include confidence levels for assessments? That's just some of the evidence-based. Of course, there's going to be more evidence-based. And we have the confidence levels, right? We have A for audience appropriate. Tailor language to audience expertise because they might speak a different language, right? Spanish we got all kinds of different languages. Adjust detail level based on stakeholder needs. Consider cultural and organizational context. Never say anything about anybody's culture, anybody specific, right? Don't say anything about anyone. Don't do anything like that, right? Use preferred communication channels, right? Relevant. Focus on information stakeholders' needs to act. Omit unnecessary technical details. Highlight business impact and implications. Provide actionable recommendations. We have escalation triggers and thresholds. Automatic escalation scenarios. High impact incidents. Business critical systems affected. Data breach suspected. PII and PHI, or sensitive data involved. Regulatory implications. Compliance violations reporting required. Executive systems, C-suite, or board member systems compromised. That would never be good, right? Public safety risk, because they'll have so much data that shouldn't be out there, right? Public safety risk, life safety or infrastructure threats. Media attention, incident becomes publicly known. The media is always going to try and say stuff about your company, so you just have to be ready for that, right? Extended downtime, service disruption exceeds thresholds. We have our severity-based escalation matrix, which is just how you would escalate it, right? Critical would be 15 minutes and 30 minutes before the briefing, right? The immediate notification, right? As soon as you figured out, you'd be notifying whoever, you'd have to notify first. That's part of the communication. Who do you communicate first? You don't just go straight up you have to talk to the person that you're supposed to be talking to. 15 minutes for high initial notification. 1 hour for management alert. Executed briefing in 4 hours. Medium is 1 hour initial notification. Management alert 4 hours and next business day for the executed briefing. P4 low 4 hours for the initial notification. Management is daily summary alert. Executed briefing is a weekly report at the end of the week, right? Or at the start of the week. But a weekly report sort of means that it has to be at the end of the week. Financial impacts threshold. 10K to 50K to the department manager notification, right? 50 to 250K for the director, vice president notification. 250 to 1 million for C-suite notification, and 1 million for a board notification and emergency meeting. Because it costs money, right, to be able to notify these people. Because they'll have to use money to actually do certain things, right? So it's not free for your impact, right? But if you got a C-suite notification, right, you're going to be spending so much money on the impact and 1 million, if you're on the board notification and emergency meeting, that's going to be a little bit less than or greater than 1 million, right? And that wouldn't be good, right? That's a lot of money just in impact. So it's best to catch stuff while it's low level, right? But I don't know. You would never be able to detect a 0 day because there's nothing out there on it that you could detect. Technical teams, SOC, IT, DevOps, content, technical details, logs, indicators of compromise, format, detailed technical briefs, incident tickets, chat channels, frequency, real-time updates during active incidents, language, technical terminology, command outputs, tool references, management, managers, directors, content, business impact, resource requirements, timeline, format, executive summaries, status dashboards, brief calls, frequency, regular scheduled updates hourly, daily, business focused with limited technical detail. We have executive leadership with the C-suite and the board, content, right, strategic impact, reputation risk, financial exposures, format, executed briefings, one-page summaries, presentation frequency, milestone updates, significant changes only, language, business terminology, risk focused, action oriented. We have the legal and compliance team. We have content, regulatory implications, evidence handling, liability. We have format, formal reports, legal briefs, compliance matrices, as legal issues arise or are identified. Legal terminology, compliance frameworks, risk assessment. For external, stakeholders, customers, media, We have content, service, impact, protection measures, restoration timeline, format, public statements, customer notifications, press releases, frequency, scheduled updates or major milestones. Language, public, appropriate, reassuring, transparent but controlled. So when you're communicating to your customer base, right? Media, you always want to be transparent and clear and being appropriate and stuff like that in how you talk to people, right? Communication channels and methods, internal communication channels, real-time, urgent. We have voice calls, executive escalations, urgent coordination, SMS text, critical alerts, out-of-hours notifications, collaboration tools, Slack, Teams for teamed coordination, conference bridges, war rooms, and status calls. War rooms sounds like something crazy, like the president would have a war room, right? But that's just a place where you would, like, defend against yourself, right? It's not just some, like, crazy room that you'd hide during a war, right? It's like where you would defend against yourself. Formal documentation, email, official notifications, status reports, ticketing systems, incident tracking and updates, dashboards, real-time status and metrics, reports, formal incident summaries, and analysis. External communication channels, we have customer portals, service status and incident updates, social media, public communications and reputation management, press releases, official statements and positions, regulatory portals, compliance reporting and submissions, legal communications, court filings, law enforcement coordination. For escalation procedures, we have standard, escalation path, initial response 0 to 15 minutes, SOC analyst identifies and classifies incident, immediate action containment and evidence preservation, notifications direct, supervisor on-call manager, documentation initial incident report created. For management and engagement, we have 15 to 60 minutes. SOC manager assumes incident command, assessment, severity confirmation and impact analysis, notification, security management, affected business units, resources, additional team members assigned. For senior leadership, we have CySA, security director, provides strategic direction, coordination, cross-functional team activation, notifications, IT leadership, legal counsel, risk management, decision authority, resource allocation, external assistance. We have executive leadership, 4+ hours on or impact, high impact. C-suite provides organizational authority, strategic decisions, business continuity, public communications, external coordination, regulators, law enforcement, and media. Board notifications, governance, and oversight requirements. For crisis communication planning, we have pre-incident preparation contact list, current stakeholder contact information, templates, pre-approved communication templates, authorization, pre-authorized spokespeople and approvers, channels, established communication methods and backup plans, training, regular communication drills and exercises. During incident communication, we have initial communication first hour, acknowledge, confirm incident awareness and response activation, assess, provide initial impact assessment and scope, action, describe immediate containment and investigation actions, timeline, provide next update schedule and expected resolution. For ongoing updates, we have status, current incident status and any changes, progress, actions completed and next steps planned, impact, updated business impact and affected systems, users, timeline, revised resolution estimates and next update time, resolution communication, confirmation incident resolved and normal operations restored, summary, brief incident overview and root cause if known, actions, preventive measures and process improvements, follow-up, schedule for lessons learned and final report. For legal and regulatory considerations, we have GDPR, 72 hours to regulator without undue delay to individuals. State laws 24 to 72 hours, varies by state and data type. HIPAA 60 days to individuals, 60 days to HHS. Financial varies by regulation. PCI, DSS, SOX, etc. Notification, content requirements, nature of breach, what happened and when was it discovered, data involved, types and categories of affected information, individuals affected, number and characteristics of affected persons, consequences, likely consequences, and potential harm, response, action, steps taken to address the breach, contact information, how to reach organization for questions, like support and stuff like that, having active support, right? Having people that can help people if issues arise, evidence preservation, legal hold, preserve all relevant documentation and logs, chain of custody, maintain evidence integrity for legal proceedings, attorney-client privilege, route sensitive communications through legal, public disclosure, coordinate with legal before any external communications, right? Because legally, you might not be able to communicate to your people, right? You have to think about the legal standpoint. Are you going to be in trouble for communicating it because it could have caused the attacker to know because it was externally communicated? We have communication templates, initial incident notification template. So this is just a little template. I don't think this is like an official way that they do it, but they have a lot of the stuff that you need to know in a template like this, right? Security incident, then we have the severity, how bad is it? Is it high? Is it critical? Stuff like that, the brief description of it. What happened, brief description of the incident. When did it happen? Time discovered and time frame of the activity. Where was it affected? System and locations. You might have one place in, like, let's just say Texas. You might have another place in Georgia. I don't know. For that, you'd want to know if both locations, what location was it? Was it the Georgia location? Or what city or what place was it in? What headquarters was it? Stuff like that. Who would be the stakeholders impacted? Who's actually being affected? Is it the customer base? Is it the people that invest in your company? Investors? Like, who is being affected by this? Status, current containment, and investigation status. Is it already done? Like, is it already is it already fixed? Is it currently trying to be fixed? Is it in progress? Or has it just happened and you haven't really got into it? Next update, scheduled time for next communication. That is basically, how am I going to communicate this to my stakeholders, right? Stakeholders is like a wide variety of people. It can be the customer base. It can be anybody who has ever put money into that company, right? Executive briefing template, executive summary, incident overview, 2 to 3 sentences. Business impact, we have financial, operational, and reputational. Current status, contained, investigating, recovering, next steps and timeline. We have resource requirements, how much money or any type of resource, right? Recommended actions, details available upon request. Customer communication template. We have the service notification. So this could just be like the social media, like Twitter, stuff like that. They're calling it X now for the newly branded, right? Elon Musk changed the name to X, right? But it could be any social media. It could be Facebook. It could be, I don't know, it could be Discord. It could be any of those different social media platforms, right? It could be YouTube. So we have the current status, issued, identified, when was it, about what time was it identified, how many of the users were affected, service partially restored, investigation ongoing, next update scheduled for what time. We apologize for any inconvenience and will provide updates as available. Then we have the support team if you need to contact them for any other reasons, right? Well, I don't know why they put that there, because they're going to be getting a lot. Oh, we're getting this issue. But they literally just communicated to you. Why are you trying to contact them about it, right? Metrics and measurements. Communication effectiveness metrics. Notification speed. Time from the incident discovery to stakeholder notification. Accuracy. Percentage of the communications required. Correction. Reach. Percentage of intended recipients who received communications. Response time. Time for the stakeholders to acknowledge and respond. Satisfaction. Stakeholder feedback on communication and quality. Escalation performance metrics. We have the escalation speed. Time to escalate to appropriate level. Decision speed. Time from escalation to decision action. We have resource mobilization. Time to activate required resources. We have authority engagement. Appropriate decision makers involved. For best practices and common pitfalls to avoid. Communication best practices. Prepare templates. Have pre-approved templates ready. Test channels. Regularly verify all communication methods work. Train spokespeople. Designated communicators with media training. Version control. Track all communications and updates. Feedback loops. Confirm receipt and understanding. Common communication pitfalls. Information overload to much detail for the audience. Delayed notifications, waiting for complete information. Delayed notifications can hurt your reputation as well. Wrong channels, using inappropriate communication methods. Inconsistent messages, different information to different stakeholders. Communication channels, right? you really got to think about, where are all my people at, right? Are they on Twitter? Are they on like Facebook? Stuff like that. But trying to figure out like where they're at so that you communicate in the best way where like most everyone can actually see it, right? And there'll be people reporting on YouTube about it, right? We have inconsistent messages, different information to different stakeholders, meaning that stakeholders are getting different information. Like one is saying that everything's fine and working, the other's saying, oh, it's already fixed, and the other one's saying, oh, it's still not working. And they're just getting all these messages and they're like, oh, what one's actually real, right? That's the technical jargon of it. No follow-up, failing to provide promised updates. Okay, you promise, oh, I'll tell you about it later, right? Then you never go back and tell them about it later. That would really hurt your reputation, right? Oh, I'm going to tell you about it, but then I never tell you about it. Key takeaways. Know what your stakeholders want, right? Understand their needs, concerns, and communication preferences. That could be communicating on Twitter, right? Communicating through Discord, stuff like that. Prepare in advance the templates, the contact list, and procedures ready before incidents. Escalate appropriately. Right level of authority for the severity and impact. Communicate clearly. Audience appropriate languages and essential information only. Don't make multiple posts, contradicting yourself, right? Document everything. All communications tracked for compliance and learning. Practice regularly. Communication skills improve through exercises and training. Tabletop exercises. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about real exercises like push-ups, stuff like that. Learn and improve. Regular review and refinement of communication processes. Hands-on exercise. A ransomware attack has encrypted the primary file server at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Initial assessment indicates 200 users cannot access shared files and the backup system appears compromised. Your task: identify all stakeholders who need immediate notification. Draft the initial notification message for technical teams. Create an executive briefing for the 3 p.m. update. Plan the escalation timeline for the next 24 hours. Prepare a customer communication if needed. Remember, in cybersecurity incidents, communication is not just about sharing information. It's about enabling effective response, maintaining trust, and ensuring organizational resilience and customer trust, right? Maintaining that trust with the customer is like the most important thing for your company, because they're not going to want to buy from you or use your services if you're not trustworthy. So thank you everybody for watching.